Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Fright Delight, and let's talk about Night of the Demons Part 2, made in 1994. This is when movies like Pulp Fiction and The Mask came out, so this movie had no chance at the box office. The movie is about a group of teenagers mistakenly inviting demons back to the Catholic school in which they live. Now, online I see the sequel having very mixed reviews ranging from the worst in the series, although most people who say that doesn't even know the third one exists, and the best in the franchise, blending the horror and comedy in the near perfect way, beating the original. So which side of Angela's bag of tricks do I fall under? Well, watching this as an adult is a much different viewing experience than watching as the 9-year-old kid I was when I first seen this movie. Even with the movie making no fucking sense, I still watch it through a nostalgia frame lens. I'm gonna take you guys with me on a journey of nonsense, and if you haven't been here before, I'm gonna recap the movie, give my thoughts and opinions in between, and then at the end, I'll cap it off with a tier rate. Now let's stop playing and get to it. The movie starts off with a couple of Jehovah's Witnesses knocking on the wrong door before they get sliced and diced by Million Kincaid's Angela. This takes us to a title card and some of the real main characters of the movie. You got Terry, BB, and Shirley. They're telling the scary story around a dimly lit candle before Melissa, the main character, comes through and slides to bed. The rest of the girls decide to tell stories until my girl sister Gloria puts the candle out. This isn't directly set in the film, but it's an alternative school, which you can kind of tell about how the students act towards the nuns. Speaking of nuns, Sister Gloria is probably one of the most badass nuns I've seen on camera. Even more badass than Whoopi Goldberg and Sister Act. While everyone's sleeping, Angela comes up to Melissa and talks to her for a legit 12 seconds before ripping her lips off. We actually learn that Angela is Melissa's sister too, which makes no damn sense if she's a demon, at least according to Angela in the last movie.
But the spirits living in a house possessed have never existed in human form. They've only existed in spirit form.
Fuck it. I'm about to make this make sense. In a later scene of the schoolgirls gossiping about Melissa, they mention her parents opting out of life because of a Halloween card they received that was signed by Angela. Now, what I think happened is after the events of the first movie, all of the bodies were recovered except for hers because she was dragged to hell. The reason being, only her body was dragged to hell because she sold her soul to the devil, which isn't too far off because she was the one into witchcraft and seances. And no, I'm not saying that people into witchcraft are into that demon shit too, but for Angela, I think she was. Because of that, she was able to keep her past body while still being immortalized as a demon forever in Whole House, which is why she was able to come back 3 movies straight. Around this time, we see another main character, Johnny, who's hyped for the Halloween party. He puts a little game on BB, which is stopped by Sister Gloria before he can put a real move on her.
Save a little room for the Holy Ghost.
We see another character. His name's Perry. That's weird. And anyways, he's actually deep as hell in the demonology, no pun intended. Dude even has a book on the subject that gets swiped by Shirley. Then later on in Bible study, this man insists on trying to get the class to hear about some demon shit. Talking about demons do exist. Demons do. Now, he is right. He's just talking to the wrong crowd in the wrong way. Now, after class, he confronts Johnny and Kurt about his book, not knowing Shirley's ass swiped it earlier. They say they don't have it, leading him to look for a place to conduct this experiment. We'll catch back up with him later as we stay with Johnny and Kurt, spitting some game to Shirley and BB. It leads to a low-key funny interaction.
Ladies call me King Snake.
Oh, really? I heard they call you Inchworm.
They talk for a bit before things get kind of spicy. Sister Gloria's cock-blocking abilities activate and rushes to the scene to ruin the mood. She hits Shirley with the "bitch you lucky" before deciding that an ass whooping isn't enough and grounds all of them on the spot. So they can't go to the Halloween party. It sucks because they have to help set the party up still, but Shirley doesn't give a damn about that. She wants to talk to Kurt about the party happening off campus. Now, she gets him to invite Johnny and BB to come too, leading him on in the process. Meanwhile, in the other side of campus, Perry is trying to summon a goddamn demon. He's successful too, conjuring Angela through a mirror. I don't know who decided to add throw up to her design, but they missed the mark on what made her scary in the first place. Blood would have worked better than throw up because she looks like somebody that had too much to drink the night before. Anyways, Perry gets caught up by Father Bob, who doesn't believe in demons, to an almost unbelievable degree. He's told to GTFO before he breaks the 6th commandment. A little later, we catch back up with the girls, and already Shirley is trying to get BB and Terry to come to this secret party. She even wants Melissa to come too. After a little bit of convincing, the whole squad sneaks out, getting picked up by Rick, which is Shirley's second boyfriend. It's kind of funny the way he finds out too.
Here, sweet tits.
As much as I want to be like, you fucking whore, she does throw Kurt and Allie when they get back to the party, so you gotta take what you can get, I guess. But they end up going the whole house. As soon as they do, Melissa starts tweaking on everybody, telling him to take her home, take her home.
Would somebody shut her up?
I can't go!
Everybody explores the inside of the house while Melissa stays inside to keep the car warm, which is probably the smartest thing to do. While she's busy surviving the movie, Shirley's trying to do the complete opposite by spraying a damn pentagram on the wall, causing Angela's spirit to come out yet again, ready to cause some mayhem. Now, she must smell better than last movie because nobody seems to mention a stank in the air or a chill, as a matter of fact, unless I'm tripping. No, I don't think I am. But I know who is, and that's Shirley and Rick with their sick ass plan. Another scene that never made sense to me. Why does BB even think of using some old ass lipstick in an abandoned funeral home with a legend behind it? Shit just blows my mind. Johnny saves her from herself by knocking on the door to rush her, but her nasty ass puts the lipstick in her bag to use for later. A few minutes later, they end up in bed making out while Angela commits voyeurism on the side. Back with Melissa, she gets spooked out of the car by a wolf mask wearing, baseball bat holding Z-Boy.
Z-Boy!
Dude has some of the goofiest screams I've ever heard since Matthew McConaughey in Texas Chainsaw: The Next Generation. He slides in and starts making out with Shirley. Now, I want to take the time to apologize to the man from the last movie because I call her an over-the-top whore in that movie. Even though she is, I see that there's levels to this. And RIP to the actress Zoe Trilling too. I don't want to talk bad about it because she did a damn good job at being almost an antagonist for the first half of the film before Angela starts to take over. It's just the character that's a bitch. She has Angela tied down to a stretcher. As Kurt and Terry get back from down the hall, Shirley starts to do this ritualistic speech before coming down with the knife, only to get stopped by Kurt. But both her boyfriends stop the stopping by plunging the knife into his chest. Come to find out, the knife is fake and this whole thing has been an act anyway that Shirley would put on to prank Melissa and the rest. Oh, turns out I was tripping all along. Angela smells as bad as Shirley's personality.
What the hell's that?
Some more weird things go on in the house, like Angela dropping worm dookie on the floor and a demon head being in the toilet. And then right before the crew leaves, you got D-Boy getting his ass violated by Angela in one of the worst ways. The crew dips off on him with Shirley being the only one that wants to wait until he gets back, until a cigarette light gets blown out by a damn gargoyle. That gets her ass stepping back to the car. Now on the way back, BB can't help but try to put some of that nasty ass lipstick on, but some worm shit tries to come out of it. Then she tosses at the back of Shirley's head, which is much deserved by the way. Shirley has no shame, taking it, putting lipstick on like she's queen shit. Now, while they're on the way back, Perry tells Sister Mary about the party he thinks is happening at Whole House. She doesn't plan to take things straight to Father Bob, who doesn't believe in them at all. Father Bob tries to put some of the blame on Perry, talking about he was the one who put it in their heads in the first place, which I can't be mad at him, but how you gonna dismiss Sister Gloria's words too? Come on, Father Bob. Anyway, the crew gets back to the party in 1999, except for Melissa. She goes back to the room after being traumatized by that shiesty ass Shirley. Speaking of, let me get back on Shirley. I want to make sure I say this clearly. She stops dancing to freshen up in the bathroom. Okay, doesn't sound too bad, but her version of freshening up is putting that same nasty ass lipstick on that BB tried to put on. That came from where? Whole House. She couldn't let one time be enough. She just had to double down on being disgusting. And not only that, I'm gonna pin this on her too. After the lipstick worm starts to attack her, she tries to open the door, and when that doesn't work, she turns around and does nothing. She does nothing. She just lets it happen, and by the way her face looks, she probably wanted it to. Smoke appears from the lipstick container, then Angela appears and gives the kiss of death to Shirley before she goes out to the dance floor and gives us a performance that me and my man Johnny can appreciate. This dance, just like the first movie, was all choreographed by Amelia Kincaid, which I can appreciate because I can't dance for shit. But I know somebody who doesn't appreciate it, and that's Sister Gloria.
You don't belong here.
Angela gets chased until she decides to Houdini out of there, leaving Shirley to take over the show just like she took over my 9-year-old heart. It doesn't go on for too long before her titties turn to hands and melts Rick's completely off before kissing him and breaking his neck. Well, this sends the party goers into a frenzy, causing chaos amongst the no-name characters. Once they leave, the name characters stay back to fight Shirley. They're successful with the help of Sister Gloria and the cross. She backs off and the characters discuss the next move, which is pretty much make sure the no-names are okay at the chapel and get ready for war. While Perry and Sister Gloria have a montage scene, Kurt and Terry have a little one-on-one time, only you get stopped by an extra hand in the mix. That extra hand turns out to be Angela. They try to get away, but Kurt gets decapitated quick as hell, leaving Terry to run, but she gets caught just as quick as Kurt got executed. She gets kissed by Shirley, turning her into a demon, and that takes us to the next scene where Angela makes her way to Melissa's room. She convinces her that she's alive and had to run away because of what happened in the first movie. She apologizes, and Melissa, she eats that shit up. And it's sad to say, I can't blame her because how she was treated by that bitch Shirley. Angela promises that that she'll take her to a place where she'll never be lonely again. Melissa hugs her before running off to the car that has the exact same people in that made her feel lonely in the first place. Anyways, on the other side of campus at the chapel, all the characters meet up to figure out what to do next. Father Bob, he still doesn't believe anything. That's just the core of his character until the end, which is a big contrast because as a father, I would think you'd be the most believing. While that's going on, BB finds out that Terry had turned by getting attacked. It's almost too late, but she's saved just in time by Johnny and Sister Gloria. I can't forget about my dude Perry. They pour holy water down her throat to exorcise the demon within her. It's a struggle, but she ends up throwing up this green goo that has a roach inside. It gets smacked by Sister Gloria, and if I'm guessing, the demon turns itself into a roach to make a smooth getaway. Because I just can't imagine a demonic being that can manipulate the space around them being a roach in its true form. This does make Perry the first and only person to survive a possession in this franchise, which is saying a lot because it doesn't take much to get possessed in the first place. The crew, including Father Bob, goes to Whole House to save Melissa, and as soon as they get there, Father Bob starts the bullshit by walking in the opposite direction of the crew. The fuck you on? Nobody wants to slide with his dumb ass except for Perry. They eventually split up, exploring every part of the house, with Perry and Father Bob investigate the top half, and Sister Gloria and the rest investigating the bottom half. That's until the house starts to separate them one by one. First is BB that gets trapped in the room behind them. Second is Johnny's blockhead ass when he tries to save BB. Angela appears and gives Johnny a backhand before we cut to see what's going on with Father Bob and Perry. Now they see a person in the darkness of the hallway. Perry doesn't want to take a chance, but Father Bob, being the worst person to survive with, makes Perry put his holy water artillery down. Damn, artillery? Makes Perry put his holy water artillery down, and no lie, still doesn't believe in demons until Rick breaks the sixth commandment, claiming it's the fifth.
I broke the fifth commandment.
The fifth.
Thou shalt not kill.
I think him getting it wrong is another way of the demons saying they really don't care about God and his commandment. Now, this leads to a great practical effect scene where Perry busts a water balloon filled with holy water on Rick's face, melting everything from the neck up. He starts to check on Father Bob before Angela comes through, forcing Perry to slide out of there. The guns don't work on him, by the way, which is why he had to leave instead of fighting her head on. Not too long later, we catch up with Johnny, who survived Angela's bitch slap. He finds his homie Kurt playing basketball with his own head, then tossing at him like a damn dodgeball. He gets chased a bit before Perry saves him in the nick of time. They get the tag team, first with a roundhouse kick by Johnny, then with a field goal kick by Perry. Damn. Much shit as I talked about Perry, he's actually a cool dude. I hope he survives until the... You bitch ass nigga. As soon as I start to give a damn about Perry, he gets killed off by D-Boy, but not before ingesting the holy water himself. Perry left this world as a man right as he says his last word. Nah, I'm joking. He actually says that he thinks Angela's gonna sacrifice Melissa to show her faith to the devil, which kind of links up with what I said earlier about Angela selling her soul to Satan and sacrificing her own flesh and blood may be the last step in the process to fully converting her. Now, enough of my headcanon. Let's get to where justice is served to Perry's murder. Now, D-Boy finds BB and tries to drop some demon dick in, but she's saved just in time by my lady, Sister Gloria.
Leave a little room for the Holy Ghost.
She put some holy water pressure on that ass before getting jumped by the other two demons, Shirley and Father Bob. It's not that long of a struggle before Johnny comes out with holy artillery, spraying Father Bob in the back, and then busting holy water on Shirley. This leads to another cool practical effects shot, which I'm not sure how much I'm able to show, but I'm gonna do a quick glance at it, but you have to see the movie if you want to see the rest. Anyways, D-Boy gets his meat melted off by holy water that was tossed at him by BB. And then in the next scene, we see the surviving characters finally making it to Melissa. Angela appears taunting the group. In this last act, you either love it or you hate it. Sister Gloria gets her head cut off. The others have no chance against Angela with none of the weapons working. And not even 6 seconds later, Sister Gloria's head pops out of her shirt like she wasn't just decapitated seconds ago. She gets up and convinces Angela to swap places with Melissa. Then Angela gives Melissa this big ass blade and tells her to sacrifice Sister Gloria. I don't know what Angela thought was going to happen, but Melissa betrays before Sister Gloria is able to gun her down with some holy water. It gets rid of her once and for all. Or so we thought. The characters enter another room that they've never seen before, getting greeted by what I'm assuming to be Angela's true form. She's evolved, or in her case, evolved into this serpent creature ready to attack the crew. It's funny as hell seeing Melissa push Johnny, telling him, do something. Like, what the hell is he gonna do for real? Wrestle with it like Steve Irwin? He does weave a whip from Angela, but that gets him nowhere. And the rest of the crew gets whipped too. But while that's happening, Johnny's able to get up, hit the window with a roundhouse kick. Sunlight bursts through the window in the shape of a cross, hitting Angela, causing her to explode in the smithereens. Sometime later, what's left of the crew gets back to the Catholic Church, greeted by the students there. The movie ends. Listen to this shit. It's not over. The movie ends as this nasty bitch, this nasty ass, I don't want to call her bitch. This nasty ass girl finds the lipstick on the ground. You gotta listen to what I'm saying. A new lady at the end of the movie finds lipstick on the ground to put on. Let that sink in for a bit. The same lipstick that was from Whole House. Fucking Whole House. But it's not like it matters in the first place anyway, but that's the rest of the movie. Now, this is solely my opinion, but if you put this in another tier, let me know in the comments below and tell me where you would rank this movie. But to get right into it, I have to acknowledge that this isn't a good movie. From the way the demons get out of Whole House to Sister Gloria having a spearhead underneath her shoulder, and lipstick was overkill, but nothing in this movie makes sense. And every time I watch it, I just can't help but enjoy it. Jennifer Rose as Sister Gloria was amazing. She had me thinking nuns did that shit when I was young. Amelia Kincaid as Angela did a great job yet again in the role. I really like how she was able to add more personality to the demon, although most of the one-liners didn't work. I know I said I enjoyed this film, but I get less enjoyment every time I watch it. As a 9-year-old kid, this was awesome, and the story didn't have to make sense. But now as I'm older, I like my moves to at least make a little sense. I think it's just how things get a little too goofy. As much as I wanted Sister Gloria to live, she shouldn't have survived that decapitation. Even if you try to say her character was a representation for an angel, and it's really a movie about good versus evil, and I don't get it, you might be right. It's just not for me. So with that being said, to rank it between Boo Boo, Meh, Somebody's Cooking, and Fright Delight, I'm gonna have to put this at meh. And my initial thought was to put this in spooky, but that goofiness is what brings the movie's fright factor down for me. And every time I watch this movie, with the exception of a few cool scenes, I get a little less enjoyment with every rewatch. Where would me and all the other main characters rank in the Night of Survival? Now, I'm not gonna waste any time. Me, Sister Gloria, BB, and Johnny, damn, I can't forget Melissa too. We all be conquerors of the night. Reason being, this isn't like the first movie where there's little to no protection and the only thing between death is a lighter mixed with a pipe in the wall. Now in this movie, with the amount of people there are and the amount of holy protection, there's no way I'd even want to die. Not with the holy water Uzi, I wouldn't, unless Angela is the one to stop me. I don't think I'd have a problem with surviving the night with any of the protagonists, and I didn't think I would have to save anybody or be saved. So honestly, with all that being said, I stick us in Conquerors of the Night. So those are my thoughts on the gory yet goofy Night of the Demons Part 2 from 1994. It has a fun cast of characters while not being as entertaining as the first movie, at least in my opinion. This movie still finds a way to get you on board with the characters throughout their dumbass decision making. If you really like the comedy of the first movie, or if you like a more Tales from the Crypt type of horror approach, I would say give this a try. Or horror comedies aren't your thing, then stay far away from this shit. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for making it this far. Let me know what you thought about Night of the Demons Part 2 in the comments below, even if you disagree with me. And if you enjoyed this video and have any movies that you want me to recommend in the future, put that in the comments below too. Please like and subscribe to see more reviews like my Night of the Demons 1988 Let's Talk video if you haven't seen that already. It's been real, fellas. I appreciate y'all coming to a Fright Delight. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.